Hello and welcome to my channel, Exceedingly Good Reviews. This is my thoughts on video. My thoughts on Monday Night Raw from the 26th of October 2020. Yeah, I'll give a quick run through of what occurs on the show and then give my overall thoughts. So the show opens with Drew McIntyre. He's interrupted by The Miz and Morrison, the new Money in the Bank case holder, The Miz. Drew takes them both out, attacks them both, takes them both out, and match is set for later. Drew against The Miz. First match of the night. It's a Team Raw qualifier, Team Raw at Survivor Series. These are qualifying matches. The first qualifying match is AJ Styles with his enormous bodyguard, associate, assistant, whatever, in his corner, taking on Jeff Hardy. This was an okay match, ultimately won by AJ Styles. So he's qualified for Team Raw. Good for you. Second match of the night, it's Drew Gulak teaming with Akira Tozawa to take on Lucha House Party, Gran Metalik and Lindsay Dorado. R-Truth has said backstage that he'll be doing some scouting in this match. So this match begins and out comes R-Truth to do his scouting. This distracts all the competitors in the match. Individually, they're all trying to get the 24/7 title from R-Truth. The finish comes as Lindsay Dorado goes to dive onto R-Truth, but he avoids Lindsay Dorado landing on Drew Gulak and pinning him to win the match. Why the match wasn't thrown out as a disqualification as soon as R-Truth got involved in the match, I don't know, because this was a standard match, a standard tag match. Normal rules apply here, people, but it didn't. R-Truth interfered, it wasn't a disqualification. Lucha House Party won, and everyone ended up chasing R-Truth off to try and get the 24/7 title. Yeah, so okay, we get the Firefly Funhouse. It's a tea party kind of theme. Bray Wyatt dressed as the Mad Hatter, Alexa Bliss dressed as Alice. She ends up poisoning Rambling Rabbit, going through all the ingredients for her special tea, and arsenic was one of those ingredients. Rambling Rabbit perishes again. It was quite a fun little moment, changing of the eyes, the lightings, and blah 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 blah. Rambling Rabbit ends up coming back. Okay, cool, whatever. It's announced that Randy Orton is going to be the guest on A Moment of Bliss later on in the night. Okay, we get both Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax approaching Adam Pearce with notes of who they think should be on the team, and each thinking that the other that they're the captain of Team Raw, and Adam Pearce says you're not, but okay, whatever. They hand the notes, and Adam Pearce will take this into consideration. Third match of the night, another qualifying match. It's Elias taking on Keith Lee. This match, I anticipated Keith Lee to steamroll through Elias, but it wasn't the case. Elias actually got a lot more offense in than what I anticipated. Elias a couple of times looked like he was going to win the match. This made Keith Lee look poor, unfortunately, I think. Keith Lee poorly booked since coming up to the main roster. Ultimately though, Elias is distracted by Jeff Hardy's music playing. This allows Keith Lee to get advantage. Hits the Spirit Bomb and pins Elias to win the match. Obviously Elias isn't happy at the end of the match, but he's attacked by Jeff Hardy with a guitar. Ooh, okay. Comeuppance from early on in the night when Elias hits Jeff Hardy with a guitar. We get an advert for NXT. We get a few of them throughout the night, hyping Halloween Havoc, which I am hyped for. We see Finn Balor in the advert. Does this mean that he's going to make an appearance at Halloween Havoc? It isn't announced, but him being in the trailer makes me assume that maybe he's going to be at Halloween Havoc. Could it be to announce that he's recovered from his injury in time, or that he's going to be stripped of the NXT heavyweight title? Who knows? We'll have to find out on Wednesday. Fourth match of the night, it's an 8-man elimination tag match. The Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander, MVP, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley taking on Retribution. Mustafa Ali, Mace, T-Bar, Slapjack with Reckoning in their corner. Reckoning actually comes into play because she ends up acting all possessed and whatnot, and injured and writhing in pain in the ring. This distraction allows Slapjack to pin MVP. MVP is eliminated. Bobby Lashley with a hellacious spear eliminates Slapjack. Bobby Lashley and T-Bar brawl to the outside and are counted out, so they're both then eliminated. So So it comes down to Mace, Mustafa Ali against Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Mace is eliminated, leaving Mustafa Ali on his own. Mustafa Ali decides, you know what, and he's going to just do whatever he can. He uses a chair, attacks Cedric Alexander with a chair, so he gets disqualified. So the Hurt Business win once again against Retribution. Retribution, you've been booked poorly, and I don't really care about you anymore. I'm done with you. Bye-bye. So yeah, Hurt Business win. Good for you guys. We then get our fifth match of the night. It's Drew McIntyre taking on The Miz, set up earlier on in the night. This was a decent match. The Miz targeting the injuries that Drew McIntyre suffered at Hell in a Cell, the ribs and everything, his leg, his knee. Targeting the injuries, it wasn't enough. Claymore kick ultimately wins Drew McIntyre the match. Good for you. Drew McIntyre at one point threw the Money in the Bank briefcase down the entrance ramp. Whoops. So yeah, New Day backstage sporting Street Profit tops. Profits are up tops. They look quite cool. I might buy one. Yeah, they're announcing all the matches that are going to be taking place at Survivor Series in terms of champion versus champion matches. We've got the tag team champions from both brands taking on each other, Street Profit and New Day. We've got the women's champions taking on each other. Asuka joins them. They'll be taking on each other. Asuka against Sasha Banks. We've got the heavyweight titles, heavyweight champions, taking on each other, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. And obviously, Bobby Lashley, the United States champion, will be taking on the Intercontinental champion, Sami Zayn. Now, obviously, these things can change. Champions can change hands between now and Survivor Series, so these matches aren't set in stone, but currently these are the matches set for champion versus champions at Survivor Series. Adam Pearce and Pat Buck are in the ring. They announced the Team Raw women's participants, the women's Raw team for Survivor Series. Obviously, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are announced. They come down to the ring. Then Mandy Rose and Dana Brooks. I've got to say, Dana Brooks, she looks like $1,000,000. She's got the looks. She's got the physique. She has the athleticism. I think she should be a bigger star than what she currently is. I think she's improved a lot, wrestling ability. And like I said, she looked like $1,000,000 here. She looked like a real deal. I mean, and next to Mandy Rose, I'd say, normally most women next to Mandy Rose takes most of the attention away. Not here. Dana Brooks, wow, you looked amazing. Congratulations. I don't know why I'm congratulating you, but, yeah. Yeah. They come out and then they're wondering who the final team member will be. Adam Pearce announces that there'll be a fatal four-way match that will occur next. The participants in that are Lana, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce and Nikki Cross. The winner of this match will be the final participant in the Team Raw women's team. So that match takes place. Nikki Cross, little firecracker she is, running around all crazy like she does. Everyone gets a little bit of offense in. Lana gets thrown out of the ring a few times. Ultimately, she ends up picking up the victory though. There's a suplex involving Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans and Nikki Cross in the corner. Lana drags out Peyton Royce and comes in and pins Nikki Cross to win the match. Lana is the final participant. She goes out to celebrate with her fellow team members, only to be put through the announce table yet again by Nia Jax. The 6th time this has happened. Poor Lana. Stay away from Nia Jax, stay away from announce tables. We then get our 7th match of the night. It's Matt Riddle taking on Sheamus. This is another Team Raw qualifying match. So far, Keith Lee has won his. AJ Styles has won his. They're both on Team Raw. Matt Riddle against Sheamus. This was a tremendous match. This is my belt of the night. It's the final match, the 7th match of the night, the main event match. And it did not disappoint. This was a great match, back and forth. Both individuals got lots of offense in. There was near fall, some mission attempts and whatnot. Ultimately, Sheamus hits a brogue kick on Matt Riddle and pins him to win and earn his place on Team Raw. This is a shame for Matt Riddle. I expect more of Matt Riddle. I expect WWE to do more with Matt Riddle. This is unfortunate for Matt Riddle. However, it's great for Sheamus. Sheamus is on Team Raw. Good for you. The show ends with a moment of bliss. Moment of bliss with Randy Orton as a special guest. Randy Orton starts to explain a few things. And he's attacked by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre attacks him. Alexa Bliss sits on the ring corner. She's laughing away. The lights go out. When they come back on, Drew's in the ring on his own. Randy's on the entrance ramp. Randy doesn't realise that the Fiend's behind him. Randy backs away from the Fiend, ultimately going into the clutches of Drew McIntyre. The two brawl, and that's how the show ends. The show ends with the two still brawling at ringside. So, yeah, we don't see the conclusion of who gets on top or whatnot. It's just the brawling, and the graphic in the corner shows, and the show ends. Ultimately, this was a great show. Coming off a great pay-per-view in Hell in a Cell. I really enjoyed the pay-per-view Hell in a Cell, and I really enjoyed this episode of Raw. Like I said, the Retribution, I'm done with Retribution. They're just yesterday's news. They've been booked so poorly and so pathetically that they're not worth anyone's time or attention anymore. They're not worth taking seriously, and I don't see how they can be taken seriously. I think WWE, you have already put the final nail in the coffin for this group, and you might as well just give up with them. Let them disband, let them go and have singles runs, send a couple of them back down to NXT maybe. And yeah, it's a shame, because I like Dominik Dijakovic, I like Mia Yim, I like Shane Thorne. I've not seen much of the other individual, the one that plays Mace, but you know, Dominik Dijakovic and Mia Yim especially, they deserve much better than this. This is poor. Keith Lee, it's an unfortunate showing for him, even though he was victorious. Like I said, Elias got a lot of the offence in this, and it looked like Keith Lee only won because of the distraction caused by Jeff Hardy. That makes Keith Lee look poor. However, these two downers, these two little moments, did not distract from the rest of the show. And the build for Survivor Series has already begun, and quite a lot of build. We've already got a complete Raw women's team for Survivor Series. 3 slots are filled for the men's team: Sheamus, Keith Lee and AJ Styles. 2 more slots are available. It'll be interesting to see who takes those slots. It'll be interesting to see what occurs between The Fiend, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. Obviously, the WWE Champion is involved in champion versus champion match at Survivor Series, but will Randy Orton be the champion in that match? Who knows? If he is, then what is going to go on with The Fiend and Drew McIntyre? What will their role be at Survivor Series? Yeah, poor Lana. It was an entertaining women's match. She's on Team Raw, but it was just a poor segment that she got put through the announce table again. I'm fed up with that. So actually, you know what? The more I'm talking about it, the more I'm mentioning. I'll just call this a good show. It was just a good show. Too many. There's a few poor moments actually going through it now in my head. But that final match of the night, Matt Riddle against Sheamus, well worth a watch. That was my belter of the night. So those are my thoughts on Raw. What are your thoughts on Raw? Let me know in the comments. Like this video, hit the subscribe button, and yeah, share this video with friends and other wrestling fans alike. Drop me a comment, and yeah, I just want to say a big thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay classy.